Hello, welcome back to another 90 Day Fiancé recap. Let's talk about The Other Way, Season 5, Episode 15.
We're obsessed with TLC and all the trashy reality TV. It's a recap. It's a recap. It's a recap.
Let's start with our Barbie and Ken, Shekinah and Sarper. The episode begins with Shekinah walking out in a black dress that Sarper probably picked out, just like how he picked out her hairstyle and her makeup and her undies. He's like, "Oh, you look perfect. Oh, so perfect." And she's like, "You like it, don't I?" Sarper's a little nervous because Shekinah's sister, Shariah, is coming to visit.
I am a little anxious because whatever she gets from here, she will directly express to the rest of the family.
And if you guys can remember, Shariah does not like Sarper. She does not trust him. She thinks he's controlling and misogynistic. And basically, Shekinah feels the pressure to really, I guess, convince her sister that Sarper is Prince Charming. Sarper also wants her approval, so Shekinah gives him some tips. She's like, "Babe, just show her how much you care about me." And he's like, "Of course I care. That's why I weigh you every day. I want you to be the most beautiful girl in the world and so perfect. I want to make you perfect." And she's like, yeah, so like, don't say that because, if you say you want to make me into a perfect person, she might think that you're trying to change me. And if you look at his face, he's genuinely confused. He's like, why would she think that's a bad thing that I'm trying to make you into my perfect woman? I don't know, Sarper. Why don't you use your a few brain cells to really think about it? And then you know what's hilarious? He was like, "But that is just how I am. I can't change that about myself." Oh, really? Oh, you can't change? Then why are you trying to change Shekinah? Are they hearing themselves talk? "Babe, just don't talk about how you want to make me into your perfect girl, okay?" And he's like, "Okay." They both go to the airport, they pick up the sister, and then they come back home, and Sarper prepares a Turkish dish for everyone. And I guess it includes raw meat and rice, and I don't know, he like cooks it with his hands. I'm not really sure. But Shariah's like, "Oh, so you're making raw meat? Yay." I was like, damn. Like, I know you don't like him, but don't dog on the food. So as he's kneading the meat, I guess it takes a long time. He's like kneading forever. The girls grill him about his extensive alcohol collection right behind him. I mean, there are bottles and bottles and bottles and bottles, and some of them are empty. And he's like, "Oh, well, most of them are empty." And she's like, "Okay, then why do you have them?" And he goes, "'Cause they're connected to memories and people, but I don't like think about the people when I look at the bottles." "Then why do you have them? That's weird." And he's like, "No, it's not." And Shekinah wants him to get rid of them. I wonder if these alcohol bottles are like bottles that he drank with, the 2,500 girls that he slept with, and he just keeps them as trophies. That'd be kind of weird. So the conversation is getting a little bit heated because Shekinah's starting to grill him a little bit. And then he calls Shekinah a slut. He calls her a slut in front of her sister. And they're both like, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "Oh, no, she's a beach." That wasn't any better, dude. I cannot believe he called her a slut bitch.
If she's texting, she acts like a slut, you know?
Wait, what?
Slut.
You're saying that my sister acts like a slut?
I mean, bitch.
That's like up.
And then Shekinah kind of chalks it up to him having a limited vocabulary. What the And then the conversation turns to Instagram. Oh, that's because Sarper was like, "You know what your sister made me do?" to Shariah. He was like, "She wanted me to post a picture of us on Instagram." And then Shariah's like, "Well, would you open up your DMs and let Shekinah read through them?" And he's like, No, never." And Shariah's like, "Okay, that's really shady. Why not?" And he's like, "No, that is my privacy." And he's adamant about not ever letting Shekinah see his DMs. Like there's something going on down there in the DMs that he wants to keep super private.
I'd rather die, you know? I'd rather die to show my DMs to anyone.
You'd rather die than show your DMs to anyone. Why? What the hell could possibly be in there? And then Shekinah's offended. She's like, you wouldn't show me your DMs? And he's like, nope. Shariah's pissed off and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go. I don't want to stay here and eat your shitty raw meatballs.
I didn't have any intention of like actually going, I want to see your DMs, but his response was just so defensive and like protecting himself.
And then he's like, you know what? You talk too much. He literally took a page out of Nicola's book and he said you are, well, he didn't say it, but he meant you are cute when you are mute.
You are so cute, but you are speaking too much.
Next, we're going to talk about TJ and Kim. It is day 2 of their wedding, and Kim is very frustrated because nobody is telling her or helping her what to do. Like, she doesn't know what's going on. She's just waiting there with her parents, just waiting for somebody to approach her and tell her where to go and what to do next. TJ finally comes by and says it's time for like another ceremony that they're going to do separately. And I guess the translator went somewhere, so the parents and Kim are like, wait, can we wait till the translator comes back? And then the other guy, he's like, nope. And then he proceeds with the ritual and nobody knows what the guy is saying. And they're just very, very frustrated.
This ritual is important to TJ. And if it's important to him, I also want to understand what's going on and the significance and the meaning behind everything. I don't just want to go through the motions. I want to know, I want to learn, and I want to experience the culture as much as I can.
Also, whose responsibility is it to guide her through the wedding? I feel like there should have been a designated person by her side to help translate and to like help her go through the whole wedding process. Now it's time for another ceremony with Kim and TJ together where everyone has to touch the couple's feet and their cheeks with this kind of like a turmeric paste. It seemed like fun. They were laughing and she's feeling a lot better now that there are people there to guide her and help her and tell her what to do. Next is Mary and Brandan. And remember in the last episode, Mary told him to go back to your country. I don't know why I did it in that accent. I'm sorry for offending anybody. But anyway, Brandan apologizes for not being a contributing partner. Now he promises her that he'll do better for her and her grandparents and their future baby. And she's like, wake up then. You got to wake up early and help me with the household chores. And he's like, okay. And then she translates Brandan's apology to Lolo, the grandpa. And then Brandan asks Lolo for his permission to marry Mary. Okay.
I love Mary with all my heart. And I guess I already asked for Mary's hand, but I really would appreciate having your blessing to wed your granddaughter.
Grandpa's actually happy about that. He's like, yeah, I want you guys to be married, preferably before the baby's born. And it's so funny because Grandpa thinks that once they're married, everything is going to fall into place. Yeah, they finally get a customer at the store and he buys a little packet of shampoo. So I think that's a net profit of 3 cents. Next is Johan and Danielle. They go see a life coach to fix all their problems. She tells the coach that she feels like she's always leading in the relationship and she's pretty sick of it because she wants an equal partner. Johan disagrees. He says Danielle says one thing today and then completely changes her mind tomorrow. He was like, she promised me a good life and she's not keeping her word. Danielle's like, you want a house and a car and like, I just can't buy everything you want right now. And then Johan claims Danielle told him that he didn't have to work and he could just be a stay-at-home dog dad. And Danielle's like, I never said that.
The suggestion that Danielle would ever make an agreement that she would work all day while her husband sat home and played with the dog is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
And honestly, I kind of agree with her because I cannot imagine Danielle saying that. And then she's like, I need you to work, bro, like help with the bills. And he's like, okay, I'll come up with some ideas. And she's like, ideas? I need action. And he's just like, okay. And somehow by the end of the session, they kiss and make up. I don't know how it happened. I don't know when it happened, what happened, but you know what? I don't care. So moving on. Oh, and what do you know? It's the end of the recap. This episode was so boring, like nothing happened. They really could have just cut this whole entire episode out of the series and we would have been fine. I know this video is probably going to be super short and I apologize. I know a lot of people are like, longer videos, bitch. Why do you want to hear me talk for so much longer? Aren't you sick of my voice? Aren't you sick of my annoying ass voice? But real talk, last night's episode of The Last Resort was crazy. Okay, so crazy that I will have to heavily censor my YouTube version and I will put the uncensored version where I go just balls out on Patreon because I don't have to censor anything there. So yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye!